Hey guys, Neff here, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the KABA Ace, which is a dimple lock that has pins coming in from 3 rows that I believe you can see here. We got left, right, and top. This specific lock has 15 pins in it. I believe it has 6 on one of the sides, 5 on one of the sides, and 4 on top, if I'm not mistaken. For me, besides that top bitting there, which you can easily see is 4, I actually have a really tough time reading the bitting on these keys. But hopefully we'll get it picked today and get a look at what's inside of it, because they're really interesting, and these types of locks I have found very, very difficult to learn. Even the KESO 2000 you saw me pick recently, which is supposed to be a very easy lock, was another really tough one for me. So let's get it chucked up in the vise and see how it goes. Alrighty guys, we got her locked up here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the key in action. Works smooth as silk. Has a little ball bearing in there that brings it back to its 0 point. That helps give it a little bit of bias. I like when those have it, or when any lock has that. For some reason it feels makes it easier to tell where the key can come out. So we're going to use this Z bar. It's pretty thick, with some really heavy tension coming around counterclockwise. And we're going to use this wiper insert flag, which you can see is not very wide, but it is tall. It comes to a solid right angle, so you can weave through the pins and do your thing. So I'm going to have some really heavy tension going counterclockwise, and actually not just counterclockwise, but I'm even going to be pulling it a little bit that way. That seems to help with getting the pins to bind. So you'll be able to see pin 1 set here, and I'll show you the jiggle test on it. So it just clicked, and now if you can see it in there, I can jiggle on it. See, it goes in and out. So that's our goal here. The problem is it's extraordinarily easy in locks of this type to overset pins. So it almost helps for me to just keep resetting until I start to figure out the binding order a little bit better. So I went pretty far back on the right. I'm a couple pins up. We got one good click. I think this is the 6-pin side, so I want to call that 4 or 5. We only want to hit pins that are actively binding, as in really hard to push. So actually that was 4 that got set. Click on 5. Three still doesn't have much going on. Let's check the front here. Tiny click on 1, and it's got a good jiggle to it. Now some of the key pins in these locks, hold on. Good click on 2. Some of the key pins in these locks are like spooled or something themselves, so if you overset, it'll put you in a false set, but hasn't actually, it's not ever going to go anywhere. So that's something to keep in mind if you get into a false set and can't get anywhere with it. I'm trying to get to the back, I can't get around these pins. There we go. Good click on pin 6 back there. Whew. That's a hard position to be in. And I got a tiny bit of core movement, so that could be that the right side is fully set. We're going to check them. We're just pushing on them all and jiggling at them. Sometimes I have to tip up because the pick tip is so long. Getting the tip on the pin, I have to kind of angle it. So, alright, that felt pretty good. Now from here I'll be working on the top and the left side. We'll go to the back for the top. Alright, felt like 4 pushed up a little bit, but I didn't really get a click on it. 3 also just pushed up a bit. No real click though. Alright, so that's a good click on 2 up on the top. Or I apologize, 1. It feels like 2 moved up a little bit too. So let's work on the left side. 1 is still set. Working on 2. Good click on 2. I'm gonna leave 3 alone. It's like almost a 0 lift, and it's very easy to overset. We're gonna try and do that towards the end of the left side. Working on 4. Just trying to aim the pick here to get that click. There we go. Good little click on 4. Alright, we're on 5. Well, maybe this is the 6 pin side because I still got 2 pins and I'm on 5, I believe. Well, 3 is the one that's binding now, so we're going to try and get the tiny click on that. Alright, so I had a small click on that. Now it's getting some jiggle. Let's go back to the back, see if we can find something that's binding. I'm not really, so let's work on the top a little bit. Make sure that all those are where they need to be. With locks like this, sometimes you gotta just bump something just a little bit the rest of the way. So that was me working on 1 and 2. Now I'm going to 3. Not getting much resistance there. Or might actually be overset. Alright, I just let off and heard, 3 small clicks, so I did let some pins out. That could have been the top stack, possibly oversets that I did. Usually, okay, that was pin 2, really good click on that. I probably overset some on the top. Honestly, unless you've kind of learned a lock, one of these, when I start oversetting, I kind of just want to go back to the start because I won't be able to repeat that. So I just keep going back. Alright, that was pin 4. Good click. 5 is now binding. Good click. Let's check 3. Tiny click on 3. Let's check 6 in the back here on the left. Oh, tiny click on that and it opened. As you can see, I had some really hard tension on that. I'm going to try and pull the tensioner off. There we go. All right. So as you can see, we're open. If I keep going, the drivers will go into the key chamber. Cool thing about this is all you got to do is push them back down, and I will show you why they won't actually damage the lock here in a moment. So let's go ahead and close it up and let's get it gutted for you. Alrighty guys, so let's get a close look at what we got here. Try not to shake the camera much with my hand up here. Alright, so most of the pins have a, I'm gonna try and get it close so it'll focus in, have like an overset ledge on them right there. And I think that's just to fit them on that ledge so that they don't just fall all the way through the key pin chamber, so that's one thing. But then you also have these pins. Let's get this up here. There we go. Whoop. Here we go. So that's obviously going to screw you up really bad if you overset that. So that'll allow the core to move a little bit, and then totally you won't even know what's going on. So we have one of those, and then another one in the third chamber on the opposite side. This goes left, right, middle if you're looking down the keyway. You can see in the middle the first chamber is not populated, so that's actually just completely empty right there, and then the next 4 are, and that's how that one is set up. And then we've got 5 chambers in the right for 5 pins there, and 6 in the left for the 6 pins there. Those are all fully populated. And then in this section right here, that's how that ball bearing works. So you have this spring, and then this pin, which has a hollow in both ends. One is deeper for the spring itself, and one is just nothing special. It's just kind of to give the ball bearing something to be near. So it'll be like that, and it'll compress up into this hole here, and that's just to set in place in the cylinder. It looks like it would be right there, but that's actually not the case. That's the top of it, which is weird to me. I don't know why. So I'm going to pull this out, and you're going to see that nothing's going to happen with the drivers. Look at that. So this is why you can't progressive pin this lock. None of the drivers can come out. I was looking at it, and the only thing I could figure is that you would have to somehow get this sleeve off. I'm sure that could be pounded away. But it is press fit, it is tight. So that notch is so that it can fit in this. It goes onto that notch down there that you can see, and then you would, if it was screwed in all the way, you would then pull this up, screw that down, and that screw will push into, you know what, maybe that's what this is for, sorry. So that screw will push into there, and that's what sets it in place. So you have notch and then a screw, and life is good. But here is your top pin stack, your left and your right. And you can see that they are balanced. You can see they come out different amounts. And that's just because there's so little room from cylinder to plug and all that, that if it wasn't shorter, there's no way that the correct size key pins would even fit. I saw this on the KESO 2002. So this is just, you know, a way to, this how they're doing it because it's such a small lock. But so you can see that they are stuck in there really good. I can't see anything to hold them in there. It looks like you can kind of see on the camera there's like a ledge on this second pin. Maybe that's where the spring is meeting up with it, but there's nothing special about any of these besides the fact that they are balanced lengthwise. No spooling or anything weird. It's just a matter of tapping nicely and being aware of what you're feeling with that jiggle test and making sure that nothing is overset. So here is that. Get you a good look at all that, and that is the entirety of the KABA Ace, I believe. Yep, KABA Ace. There's that. And you guys all have a great day. Any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback, I'm happy to hear it. If you liked what you saw today, I really hope you subscribe to my channel. I really like doing these videos. I hope to do a lot more for you in the future. Y'all have a great day.